There is no other book that has influenced Western civilization more than the Bible. It would be stupid not to read the Bible. For you and I live in a civilization that has been profoundly impacted by the Bible. Some people say to me, yeah, but Cliff, the Bible's been misinterpreted. You bet it has. Interpret it fairly. Read in context, respect literary style, and interpret the Bible well. In the Sermon on the Mount, you will notice in Matthew chapters 5 and 6 that Jesus corrected the misinterpretations religious people had of the Bible. In Matthew chapter 5, Jesus says, you've heard that it was said, do not murder. But I tell you that if you're angry with someone, you've murdered him, basically. In other words, people thought that the commandment, do not murder, simply meant literally, don't physically murder somebody. Jesus points out God's intent behind that commandment, do not murder, is that you and I would love each other and respect each other, not hate each other and not blow each other away with our grotesque words. Jesus goes on and says, you've heard that it was said, do not commit adultery. But I tell you, if a man lusts after a woman, he's already committed adultery with her in his heart. In other words, you guys think that the commandment of God, do not commit adultery, simply applies to sexual intercourse with someone you're not married to. You're wrong. Behind that commandment, do not commit adultery, is God's call on your life and my life to not lust, to not devalue a person by treating them as an object, as a Barbie doll, or as a stud. What's wrong with pornography? Pornography teaches people to use others. Pornography teaches us to use people as objects. And Jesus Christ says, no, people are not objects to get pleasure from. Instead, people are human beings with mind, emotions, a will. Get to know them as a person. Make a lifelong commitment to one person of the opposite sex, and then enjoy sex within the context of a lifelong commitment. That's biblical marriage. And then Jesus goes on and says, you've heard that it was said that you better not divorce. But Jesus goes on and points out that not only is divorce wrong, but so is unfaithfulness to one's spouse in any kind of situation. Instead of divorcing, we are called by God to reconcile, to humble ourselves before each other and ask for forgiveness, to give of ourselves to the other person in service. That's the way to build a solid marriage.